Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Associated Press from March 7th. Facebook steps up fight against vaccine misinformation. Now, what's funny is what are they going to call vaccine misinformation? Because I can go into the vaccine adverse event reporting system and I can look up, say, MMR and scroll down and see as adverse reaction to the MMR shot, autism being listed 1,500 and some odd times for the latest one, for the latest year. I know this for a fact because I just did a video not too long back where I was like, okay. And I went through and I said, all right, yep, adverse reporting, 1,500 cases of autism. So if I go and I put that on Facebook, which is right from the CDC website, am I going to get nailed for misinformation when I am physically reporting a fact? I mean, you can go to wonder.cdc.gov/VAERS.html and do a data search and find it. So, yeah. Am I going to get nailed for that? For misinformation when I'm stating a fact that there was 1,500 and some odd cases? It was like 1,517, I think, by saying that. Anyways. Social media giant Facebook says it will remove groups and pages that spread misinformation about vaccinations on its site. Now, another thing. More people die from the MMR or measles vaccination alone than they do from actual measles. Bring that up, they're gonna, which is a fact, they're gonna, remove your page, remove your account, remove your group. I mean, I'm not anti-vax. All right, vaccines when I was a kid were a hell of a lot safer than they are today. You also didn't get, force-fed, for lack of a better way of putting it, like 50 vaccines in a very short period of time on top of it. You also didn't have things like squalene and mercury as part of the preservative. You didn't have any of those things. Which you also didn't have when I got my vaccinations. Can't leave out this one. You also don't have that. You didn't have vaccine manufacturers basically completely shielded by the United States government from liability. And that happened because during the Reagan administration, because a bunch of kids were getting fucked over by the DPT vaccination. So, excuse me for having little faith and trust in these companies that have no accountability to their customers. So with that, if I go and point out things that are factual, am I going to see this happen to me over vaccine misinformation? That is the question. That's what anyone should be thinking if you question the safety of vaccines. You're not against them, but you question the safety. You're going to have them use this to silence what you're saying or come after you in some way. It is the latest step Facebook and others are taking to stem the tide of misinformation on social media sites. Who is the arbiter of misinformation? I mean, to me, this sounds like this is just one step away from them going, oh, well, we got to make sure, people talking about politics aren't giving misinformation. Oh, and those just might happen to be Trump supporters, for example. You don't think that they would extend this idea of with misinformation, supposed misinformation, I should say, and controlling? You don't think it's going to go that far? Bullshit. Facebook said Thursday it will take its cue from global health organizations such as the World Health Organization and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which have publicly identified verifiable vaccine hoaxes. Oh, the World Health Organization, the UN, globalist shitpigs. Yeah, I'm going to trust them. And hey, I should just, trust the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention when the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, has on their VAERS data search database, if you look up MMR, the latest year, 1,517 deaths. 1,517 cases of autism. How did I say deaths? Yeah. Okay, so out of one side of their mouth, they're going, nothing to see here. No. And out of the other side, they're going, well, there's 1,517 autists because of MMR. Which is it? If groups and pages spread those hoaxes, they won't appear in recommendations or in predictions. In predictions functions when searched for in Facebook. Ads with similar information will be rejected. And hey, you're a fucking reporter, asshole. You don't start a sentence, especially a paragraph, even if it is one sentence, with and. And content that contains the misinformation won't be shown on Instagram, Explore, or hashtag pages. So they're going to be the arbiters of what's factual. So I guess if I say that, we're to go onto Facebook and talk about the 1,517 deaths, take a screen capture, show people how to go and see that for themselves, odds are I'd be getting nailed for misinformation on the whole autism thing. Federal health officials have attributed a recent spike in the number of measles cases in part to misinformation that has made some parents shun the vaccine. Oh, funny. No, that you mean the MMR vaccine. And the recent spikes in measles. Let's talk about New York City on that note. The Jewish community doesn't necessarily vaccinate, especially when certain vaccinations don't work as well for them as they would for, say, a Gentile, as they would put it. I love this. So because that's, what's happened in New York. Then you have all the illegals in these areas that are carriers and aren't going to be vaccinated. You're going to try to blame it on people who don't necessarily want to vaccinate their kids from a disease that isn't going to kill them. Okay. The bogus notion that vaccines cause autism, kicked off by a now disproven study from 1998, didn't start on social networks but is spread there. Okay, you want to... All right, asshole. All right. Here we go. So, MMR. I already did the search, see? Processing request. Because I want to prove a fucking point. Okay. Autism, let's see. Abscess, acne, okay. Amino, anal abscess, oof. From the MMR vaccine, oof. That's gotta suck. Where the hell are you? Autism, we're in the ends. P, R, Asperger's, atrophy. Autism. I was off, sorry. Autism. 1,565. Autism spectrum disorder, which is just autism light. 231. This is from the CDC's own fucking website. So that's total between autism and autism light. That is 1,786 cases of autism. Hey, asshole. Whoever wrote this, you're a lying sack of shit. Okay? I'm going to highlight this right here. This is Autism and Autism Light. Right here. Pause it if you want to see for yourself. 1,565 cases of autism spectrum disorder, aka, as I'm calling it, Autism Light. 231. 1,565 cases. This is in the U.S. 1,565 and 231 Autism Light, too many. But was that about a debunked dipshit when the CDC's own website says otherwise? While overall vaccination rates remain high in the U.S., according to the Centers for Disease Control, the number of kids under 2 who haven't received any vaccines is growing. The CDC attributes much of this to lack of health insurance. Uninsured kids are much more likely to be unvaccinated than children who have health insurance. Oh my God. Bullshit. Vaccines are pretty fucking cheap. All right. And if you want to talk about a lack of health insurance, these kids, I thought under Obamacare, all these kids had fucking insurance. They should be poked, prodded, and jabbed then. But when parents make a choice not to do it, it's because they don't have insurance. So what are you going to say, next Medicare for all? No, I know you don't, but I mean, come on now. This is such horse shit. I just proved you a fucking liar. Whoever wrote this hack piece. Jesus. Vaccination against a list of diseases is required to attend school in the U.S., but 17 states allow some type of non-medical exemption for personal, moral, or other beliefs, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. Yeah, it should be more than 17 states. You are violating the right of the person. You have no right to require them to go to a public school. If they were going to a private school, okay, that's a different story. Because a private school is private. A public school is public. So guess what? That means those public schools should not be able to force or compel in some way, shape, or form that some kid gets poked, prodded, and jabbed. That's the parent ultimately is the one who decides on that. It shouldn't be a school dictating to a parent. Especially when you go, MMR doesn't cause autism, and I just showed it caused 1,796. I'm sorry, I said 86. I meant 96. 1,796 cases. And this, excuse the noise, is reported for what, 2016 or 2017, I believe it is. I mean, give me a fucking break. And then you got Asperger's. Let's see how many Asperger's real quick. Because Asperger's is, one of those type of diseases. Asperger's disorder. 21. That's low. But 1,560, whatever it is, 65? That's a lot of autistic kids now. 1,500 too many. 1,565 too many. See, I just had to cover this because, like I said, I'm not anti-vaccination. I'm just anti what's in them at this point. I'm anti forcing someone to put something into their body. If they want to put it in their body or put it in their kid's body, that is their prerogative. The state should not dictate. Others in society should not dictate. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.